Hey, good evening and welcome to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH as we get ready for tonight's volleyball action right here. We are in IESA 7th grade regional action in the semifinals. And tonight the Bushnell Prairie City Spartans will take on the West Prairie Cyclones here from the West Prairie Middle School. The winner will be in the championship coming up on Thursday night right back here at Colchester. Do want to thank our fine sponsors, the broadcast here tonight. They include folks like JoJo's Gaming Parlor, offering the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Events live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. The Spartans warming up right now as we get ready for action here. A lot of things going on tonight. I know Dwayne has boys basketball at Scioto, and I believe Chris Frankhauser will be in action later on this evening as well. Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking can take your product down the road, near or far, and also offers top-notch heavy-duty truck and trailer repair. The second-generation business continues to grow and continues to support local athletics. Stop by and see Danny or Travis on Route 41 south of Prairie City, or call them at 309-775-3333. This West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning-fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check availability.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance
in the weight room.
Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
During this COVID pandemic, it is important you take care of your health, especially your heart health. Do not ignore the signs of a heart attack or stroke. If you have health concerns, schedule an appointment with your provider, and always, in case of an emergency, call 911. This message brought to you by McDonough District Hospital and Blessing Health System. See for yourself why Blessing Health System is the leader in cardiology and pulmonology services. Appointments available inside MDH. Learn more at blessinghealth.org or mdh.org.
And back here as the teams continue to warm up, did want to give you an update on the regional bracket. And looks like Stronghurst West Central has punched their ticket into the championship contest. They defeated Table Grove VIT. And sorry, they did that in 3, but the bifocals can't read the small numerals. That happens when you get close to 50, like I am. Let's take a look at the starting lineups here this evening for the two teams out on the court. For the West Prairie Middle School volleyball team, it will be Alexa Barkley, Madeline Sullivan, Macy Branch, Mason Shipman, joined by Abby Starbuck, and the libero tonight will be Ireland McCurdy. For the Bushnell Prairie City Spartans, it will be Destiny Sykes, Addison Mason, Natalie Willie, Carolyn Spangler, Joe Haga, and Taylor Lindner Howell tonight. Glad you're alongside for more TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Of course, we'll be breaking into high school volleyball coming up next week. I know the Cyclones getting started at least next week. I'm sure Bushnell Prairie City will be jumping into it as well. Wanted to update you on our games for the rest of the week for the Cyclones for boys basketball. Coming up rest of the week, tonight they take on Havana at Scioto, travel to Abingdon on Friday, and this Saturday a big matchup with Southeastern at West Prairie, that one at 5 o'clock. The girls basketball team rounds out the season as they take on A-Town on Thursday night. And coming up first week for the high school Cyclones volleyball on Tuesday, they'll have South Fulton as the 16th. They'll have South Fulton at home. And then on Wednesday, they will have Havana right there at Scioto. The Spartans outfitted in the blue tops, white sleeves, and the red piping, I guess you could say, around those, and the black shorts tonight. Cyclones in the grays with the navy trunks and the navy numerals trimmed in white. Coach is Drew Snyder, assisted by Patty Clark. The head coach for Bushnell Prairie City is Haley Rotifer, and Jess Schwendaw, the assistant coach for the Spartans. And again, just getting ready to get this underway. The Cyclones, I believe, were the number 1 seed of the regional, and the Spartans were the number 4 seed here tonight as we get ready to serve it up, tee it up, kick off, I don't know. Well, use whatever your favorite term is. Thank you for voting McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center as best of the best in McDonough County. Let their experienced and dedicated sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best in 2017, 2018, 2019, and again in 2020. 3 convenient locations to serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. The Community News Brief is a free publication distributed over 68 locations in Bushnell, Macomb, Colchester, Industry, Adair, and more towns throughout the area. It provides local news to McDonough County and parts of Fulton County every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. To submit a press release or get advertising information for the locally owned publication, contact Lynn at 309-333-8245 or email communitybrief@gmail.com. Tri-County Seeds, your local Golden Harvest seed advisor. Located in Scioto, rooted in genetics, agronomy, and service for over 10 years. Contact Nate Todd at 309-333-3437 for all your Golden Harvest corn, soybean, and seed treatment needs. And we'd love to, while you're here on the stream with us, if you want to comment on where you are for all this, as hopefully, yes, you can let us know where you are watching from and where you are seeing this game from as we get ready to toe it up. Like I said, toe it up, kick it off, tee off, serve it up, tip it up. Whichever volleyball term you prefer the most. Anywho, we will get to it. As the Cyclones and the Spartans go at it, and it looks like it will be Haga serving first. Joe Haga stepping back to serve for the Spartans. And just about ready to get these IESA class 7th grade regionals semifinals underway. Haga back to serve here as she'll ready to let it go. And ready is the underhand, or actually the overhand serve. Serves it off of Starbuck to Sullivan. She'll set in the middle for Barkley. Barkley a little too much in the muscle department and knocks it out, makes it a 1-0 Spartan advantage. Haga sets it back again. Readies, rocks forward and serves a high floating ball deep and wide. And that'll bring it back over to West Prairie. The side out gives them a point. We've reached a 1-1 tie. Macy Branch walks to it. Underhand serve, deep into the back row. Pop to the front and over. As knocking it over was Willie, and out of bounds. 2-1 lead now for West Prairie. Macy Branch will let it go again. 2-1 lead here. Lets it fly. Serve into the back row. Haga had a little trouble with it. Down it goes. 3-1 West Prairie. Bandage up an ace for the Cyclones. And Branch will send it again. From the middle of the free throw lane. Deep in the back row. Popped up front there by Sykes. Tipped over, and the Cyclones had a hole develop in the middle. Drops in and good. 3-2. Side out back to Bushnell Prairie City. That's going to bring it back to serve it. Caroline Spangler. And Coach Drew Snyder. Moving folks around a little bit. Served by Spangler. Taken by Starbuck. To the middle to Sullivan. Sets for Barkley. She'll tap it into the net. And it makes it 3-3. We're all tied up here. Bushnell Prairie City will try for their second lead of game number 1 as Spangler readies to let it fly. The low serve off a Branch in the back row. Phelps going to help it out to Sullivan. Across off the way off Haga. Up to the front. Tipped across there by Mason. Back to Bushnell Prairie City. They'll bring it back over to West Prairie. Starbuck to Sullivan to Phelps. That one tipped up there by Mason. Tapped across and Branch has got it. Sullivan in the middle to Barkley. Drops it in and good. And it makes it 4-3. A 1-point advantage now for West Prairie as they'll bring back Taylor Phelps to serve. Phelps, the overhand serve, gets ready to wind it up, brings it across into the back row. Haga sends it in net, but it's popped across by the Spartans. Set up for Sullivan in the middle to Barkley. Barkley back row. Haga back close to the net. Tipped. Phelps has got it for West Prairie. Sullivan for Barkley. Sends it through Haga. Up front for Mason. Tipped across by Starbuck. And now to Shipman. She'll send it up. Tapped one-handed by Willie into the net, and it makes it a 5-3 West Prairie advantage. 5-3 West Prairie in the advantage by 2 here in this game number 1. Taylor Phelps ready to serve it once again for West Prairie. Sets herself, lets fly. Back row, that one popped up there by Willie. Tapped through by Haga, and West Prairie couldn't quite get to it in time. Drops in. Ireland McCurdy will check in for the Cyclones. 5-4, side out over to Bushnell Prairie City. And back to serve is Taylor Lindner Howell. And again, Coach Drew Snyder checking the lineup, making sure everybody's in their right place. Lindner Howell will let it fly for the Spartans. Brings it high, lets it go deep into the back row, off the hands of Barkley and down, and it makes it 5-5. Again, Bushnell Prairie City will try to take themselves back into the advantage, as Lindner Howell will come back in ready to let it fly again. Her serve booms back row off of Phelps. Now Sullivan for Shipman. Hits it off her hands. Drops down as 6-5. Bushnell Prairie City does take that 1-point advantage. Second time they've led. Lindner Howell off the side of her hand into the net. And that'll bring it over to the Cyclones for the serve. Alexa Barkley will serve it here for West Prairie. 6-6 tie. As Barkley winds it up high in the air. In the middle there, pumped up by Mason, helped out by Lindner Howell, and then bumped across. Shipman's got it for West Prairie. Tipped by Sullivan. Lindner Howell sends it back. McCurdy couldn't quite get there. Drops home and makes it a 7-6 Spartan lead. A 7-6 Spartan lead. We'll bring back. She made the good play. She gets to serve. Kind of how volleyball works. Mason eyes and sends a screaming line drive in the back row to Barkley. Had a little trouble with it. Drops down and makes it an 8-6 Bushnell Prairie City lead. We're going to take this timeout. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented right here on YouTube by MDH.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True Convection Cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Back here at West Prairie, as Bushnell Prairie City has taken an 8-6 advantage. Their largest lead of this game number 1. It is best 2 out of 3 falls. And again, trying to shift things around a little bit. Down a teammate tonight. Mason lets it go into the back row. Tapped up by Starbuck. Sullivan brings it up. Phelps going to bring it over, and now Sykes going to bring it back across. Shipman to Sullivan. Tapped up, and Spangler tried to hit it. Haga tried to help it across, but could not get it there. 8-7, side out for West Prairie. That's going to bring Macy Branch in. Mason Shipman out, and back to serve comes Ireland McCurdy. McCurdy ready to set it up. A few dribbles. Into the air with it, and goes into the back row. Lindner Howell pops it high. Haga helps it out and actually sends it into the beam. They did try to bring it across, but hit actually on West Prairie's side. So it will be 8-8. 8-8, another 8. As McCurdy Sends it across, and Sykes going to boom it back row. McCurdy's got it, but needs help. Can't get it. Barkley can't get there in time. It is 9-8, side out for Bushnell Prairie City. They reclaim the advantage by 1. 2 has been their largest lead. West Prairie is led by 2 as well. Caroline Spangler walks to it, brings it through, and Abby Starbuck takes it back to the net, tapped across by Haga. Starbuck to Sullivan, tips it, helmed across there by Spangler, and now set up. The left side, Starbuck, she'll boom it through, and it is out of bounds. Wide left makes it 10-8. Now Bushnell Prairie City will try to take their biggest lead of this game, number 1. As Spangler sets herself and brings it into the back row off of Phelps on the left side. Sullivan tried to get it, tipped, and actually going to say it was 2 hits because it actually bounced off Madeline Sullivan's arms and hit her in the head. So it makes it 11-8 Bushnell Prairie City. As actually it is Willie that is serving it. She'll bring it over to the official stand. Nice save by Sullivan. Starbuck across, and Linder Howell says have it right back to McCurdy, tipped over by Sullivan, tapped up by Haga. Linder Howell tried to get it, could not, and it makes it 11-9. Big save there for West Prairie. And now Abby Starbuck will step back to serve it. 11-9 lead for Bushnell Prairie City in game number 1. Abby Starbuck. Couple of slap dribbles at it, lets it fly, screaming line dive. Linder Howell brings it back, and McCurdy and Starbuck couldn't get it. Side out for Bushnell Prairie City. Spartans continue to rally in here with defense. Destiny Sykes will serve for them as they will let it fly here. Serve across. And now tapped out of bounds. As they go back to work with it. Served by Sullivan, comes across. Taken in the back row by Spangler, and the Haga is going to get caught in the net. So that's going to bring it back over to West Prairie. 12-11, they're here within 1. Sullivan with the serve. Popped up in the back row there by Willie. Helped out by Sykes. And not going to get it across in 3, so makes it 12-12. Madeline Sullivan helping. She is helping to lead them to a tie. Now serves it across. Back row, it is popped forward off of Sullivan to Branch. Branch back to Sullivan. Taps it through and sent up there by Willie. Helped. That one went into the ceiling by Sykes. And makes it 13-12. The Cyclones lead it here. As once again Sullivan will let it fly, brings it over. That one popped back across by Willie, saved by Sullivan. Helped out and flipped over. Working out there is Mason. Tapped up for the Cyclones to hit to Barkley. Barkley drops it in front of Sykes and good. So that makes it makes the score 14-12. 14-12 here. Madeline Sullivan will tow it up again. Ready to let fly deep into the back row and splits the uprights. Beauty of a serve. Drops in and good. Comes back 15-12 lead for West Prairie. Sullivan doing the heavy lifting here. Sullivan spins it, sends it across off of Willie, back over to the Cyclones. To Barkley, tapped across. Willie pops it up. Cyclones play it. Branch for Sullivan. Through the hands of Linder Howell and back, and the Cyclones lead it by a score of 16-12. 16-12, and again has been Madeline Sullivan. We've got a timeout call by Bushnell Prairie City. 16-12 lead for the Cyclones. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
During this COVID pandemic, it is important you take care of your health, especially your heart health. Do not ignore the signs of a heart attack or stroke. If you have health concerns, schedule an appointment with your provider, and always, in case of an emergency, call 911. This message brought to you by McDonough District Hospital and Blessing Health System. See for yourself why Blessing Health System is the leader in cardiology and pulmonology services. Appointments available inside MDH. Learn more at blessinghealth.org or mdh.org.
Back here at Colchester as this school volleyball 7th grade semifinal going on here. Again, glad you're alongside for volleyball action as Madeline Sullivan will eye it up and ready to let it sail. Her serve into the back row. Willie into the net with it, and they're not able to get it out of there. So it is 17-12. Madeline Sullivan trying to drive it home here. She'll eye it up again, send it through, and they serve, a bandage up an ace. As she'll drop it right in front of Willie, and good, and it makes it 18-12. Now into the back row, substitution, Callie English coming in for Bushnell Prairie City. Serve by Sullivan, Linder Howell popping it high. Well, actually they're going to call a lift, so it is now 19-12. Serve again by Sullivan. High in the air, tipped up by Phelps. Phelps going to send it over to Sullivan, and English not able to get it. 20-12 lead for West Prairie as they continue to try to drive it home. Sullivan again, serve is through, popped up by Willie off the ceiling. The Spartans not going to get it, and it makes it 21-12. Madeline Sullivan trying to drive it home here. And again, she will let it sail. Serve back row off of the back row of Mason. 22-12. Again, Madeline Sullivan is really pushed them into a huge lead. Serve again. Back row off of Willie. Back across off the hands of Starbuck and down. So a big side out there by the Spartans as they're able to get the side out. And that brings back Haga to serve here for Bushnell Prairie City. Haga eyes it up. Serve off of Phelps, right back over. Haga high to the net. Barkley tips in. Linder Howell not able to get it. And it is 23-13. Going to apologize, a little bit of a video issue here. We'll see if we can get her fixed in between the two games. 23-13, Macy Branch high up in the air in the back row. English not able to handle it. Game point for the Cyclones at 24-13. 24-13. Back again comes Macy Branch as she'll try to finish it off here. Serve is low, popped high in the air. Back over to the Cyclones. Sullivan to Barkley. To Sullivan, who tips it deep back row. Haga keeps it alive. Tapped, and Linder Howell tries to get to it, and that will not get across the recommended daily allowance of 3 hits. That is game number 1 in the book. 25-13 win for the Cyclones. We'll head to number 2 in just a moment. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by
As we work together to stop the spread of COVID-19, McDonough District Hospital wants you to know that your health and safety are our number 1 priority.
Our primary care providers are here to take care of you and your family's total well-being. Telehealth capabilities and the MDH Convenience Clinic all provide ease of access to our wide range of services.
All of this because we are committed to providing you quality and compassionate care that you have come to trust from us.
McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True convection cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. said, "You better come home because there's no roof." He said, "I look up and see the sky." They didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, but Country Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
Back here for game number 2, and going to apologize a little bit. Our stream a little bit, well, now it seems like we are starting to do going a little bit better as video's trying to catch up with the audio here tonight. And we will work on that. I'll try to give you the best audio version of it I can. I know some of the folks out there, like I said, doing our best here to try to help you out as best we can. We'll see what we can get done with it. As I know audio is not catching up with the video and that, and I said I'll apologize for that. Something looks like we're going to have to do a little work on as we go along here with this, as all kind of getting it up and going. And I believe the network having some little burpee issues. That's the best thing I can, not a technical term, but the best thing I can think of here. On the floor for the Cyclones, Abby Starbuck, Ireland McCurdy, the libero, Alexa Barkley, Macy Branch, Mason Shipman, and Madeline Sullivan. Starbuck will serve it first. Serves it in the back row off of Sykes, popped high by Haga. Bumped into the net, however, by Spangler, and that'll be 1-0 West Prairie. Back to the starting lineup for Bushnell Prairie City, and we'll catch that for you in just a moment. As ready to serve with it is Abby Starbuck, 1-0 West Prairie. That one tips off the top of the net. No, that's good. Bushnell Prairie City said out. And so a 2-0 lead now for the Cyclones. 2-0. They won the first one, 25-13. Abby Starbucks switches over to the right side of the service area. Serve back row, and coming on and missing is Mason. Swung on and missed, couldn't get to it, and makes it 3-0 lead for West Prairie. 3-0 lead for West Prairie. Ready to serve it again is Abby Starbuck. Starbuck eyes it, sends it into the back row. A pop sideways by Sykes. Helped into the net by Haga. And it makes it 4-0 West Prairie. The Cyclones starting to pick it up a little bit here. Gained a lot of steam behind Madeline Sullivan in that game one. Serving is Abby Starbuck. She'll let it sail. Screaming line drive off Lindner Howell. Bandage up another ace for Abby Starbuck as she makes it a 5-0 Cyclone lead. 5-0 Cyclones in the advantage here. Starbuck. Couple of slap dribbles at it. Ready to send it on the way into the back row. Lindner Howell pops it high. Can't get it off the ceiling. 6-0 Cyclones. And again, they have really started to pick up steam here. As Abby Starbuck ready to slap dribble it. Sends it again. Serve drops right in front of Willie. And that is good. Makes it 7-0. And again, Cyclones flexing their muscles here in this game number 2. Serve by Starbuck. Across the way, again splits the uprights. 3 aces in a row for Abby Starbuck. If she was playing poker, she'd have a great hand already. 8-0 the lead now. Several slap dribbles. Serve back row, and that one just a little too much muscle on it. Going to serve it out of bounds and brings it back. Joe Haga will serve it here. 8-1 lead for West Prairie in at game number 2. It is best 2 out of 3 falls. Haga comes to it. Serve kind of a and goes into the net. West Prairie now leads it 9-1 on the side out. That's going to bring Madeline Sullivan back to serve, and I believe she served about 12 or 13 straight in that game 1. Loads it, sends it, back row off of Sykes, and that's a double hit. So makes it 10-1. Double hit makes it 10-1 here. Madeline Sullivan back again. Sullivan sends it across, right in between Lindner Howell and Willie. It is 11-1. Coming to it again is Sullivan. Sullivan, line drive serve, and off the hands of Lindner Howell, and down it is 12-1. We've got a timeout called by Bushnell Prairie City. We'll step aside as well. You're listening and watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. The Bushnell Banking Center, a branch of Raritan State Bank, located at 360 South Green Street in Bushnell, offers full-service banking and loan services for all of your banking needs. Come visit the bank of friendly service or call them at 309-772-2345. Good luck, Cyclones. Good luck, Spartans. Bushnell Banking Center is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. Square Music Company offers instruments, gear, lessons, services, and more, located at 122 North Side in Macomb. Call the Macomb store at 309-431-5484. You can also visit the Quincy location at 725 North Hampshire Street. You can also find them online at squaremusic.com. Madeline Sullivan eyes it up, ready to send it again into the back row. Hit sideways there by Sykes, and it is 13-1. As I mentioned, Bushnell Prairie City hung in the first game for quite a long time, and then West Prairie separated themselves. They are really starting to put it to it in this game, too. Sullivan off of Sykes. Lindner Howell sends it over. Sullivan over to Branch, back to Sullivan. She'll send it across, down and good off Willie, and it is 14-1. 14-1 here. Cyclones 11 away from heading to the championship match. That would be, of course, coming up on Thursday for Stronghurst West Central. Serve off Lindner Howell, high up in there, bounced across, and Branch has it for West Prairie. To Sullivan, to Barkley, little bit too high and out of bounds in the back row. That'll make it 14-2 on the side out for Bushnell Prairie City. Serving for them is Caroline Spangler. Line drive serve off of Starbuck, over to Sullivan. Left side setup, Phelps off for the hands of Haga and back and down. 15-2 the lead. Mason Shipman in, Ireland McCurdy out. And Macy Branch back to serve. Macy Branch finished off game number 1. And serve now by Macy Branch. Popped up there by Mason, couldn't control it. 16-2. It is 16-2 here. Macy Branch coming back again. 9 away from advance to that championship. Her serve, Loa line drive. Haga up under it. Couldn't get it. Hit it into the net. 17-2. 17-2. Macy Branch eyes it up again. It has been that quick, folks. Just bang, bang, bang. Branch. That one, though, a little bit low and under the net. Serve makes it 17-3 on the side out. Taylor Lindner Howell serves it now for the Bushnell Prairie City Spartans. Her serve off of Shipman. Sullivan set it up for Barkley off the top of the net. The excuse me spike drops in for an 18-3 Cyclone advantage. 18-3 Cyclone advantage. Taylor Phelps. Couple of slap dribbles after it. Reddy is just inside the left side of the free throw lane. Serve across and drops right in front of Spangler. 19-3 advantage. And I'm going to apologize a little bit about the video, but you got the best part. You got me on the audio. I know you want to see the video too, folks. Serve by Phelps. A hit back across. Phelps there to recover it, but couldn't quite get it up to Sullivan at the net. And another side out for the Spartans. They make it 19-4. 19-4 here. Addison Mason serves for Bushnell Prairie City. 19-4 lead. Serve off of Barkley. Sullivan into the net. Couldn't get it. Nice diving attempt at it by Maddie Sullivan. It is 19-5. I believe we are having some network issues. Served in the middle. Phelps takes it. Popped high by Sullivan. Bumped over by Shipman. Lindner Howell will put it up for Bushnell Prairie City. Hit back by Shipman, who knocks it down and in and says, "Stay on your side." 20-5, 15-point advantage for the Cyclones here. And Alexa Barkley will get a chance to finish it on the wing. Her serve. Line drive into the net. And that is the third serve into the net here by the Cyclones in this game number 2. As that brings it back See if it's a 21 or a 24. It is Natalie Willie. She brings it over off of Phelps. Sullivan back set. Shipman taps it through. A little bit too long and out of bounds. And Willie loads it up again. Willie. Her serve, high floater, short off of Starbucks. Sullivan will flip it through. Lindner Howell says, have it right back. Cyclones play it. Shipman into it. Brings it cross court. Nice shot. Cuts the court and makes it 21-7. Mason Shipman hitting it just past Willie's arms, and that will bring in Ireland McCurdy back to serve it here for the Cyclones. 4 away from finishing off and heading into a date in the semifinals. McCurdy high in the air, tipped sideways, and that a lift. You can hear that sound. Destiny Sykes tried to tap it sideways, and you know when you hear that sound, you know when you hear a lift. 22-7 West Prairie. Serve across, picked up there, hit into the beam, and that will be out of bounds, so it is 23-7. Cyclones 2 away from finishing off. They won the first one 25-13. And Ireland McCurdy up to it. High floater, Lindner Howell into the net. Game in match point. 24-7. Game and match point here for the Cyclones as McCurdy throws it up there. Now we'll let it fly. A bounce. That one low and into the net and earns a side out for Bushnell Prairie City. Well, here's the situation. They've got to run off 16 straight, or actually technically 17. As Destiny Sykes will come back here for BPC, trying to get them back into this one. Sykes with the serve. It is high, out of bounds. And that will be a game winner. The Cyclones win it 25-13, 25-8 here over the Bushnell Prairie City Spartans right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Do want to thank our fine sponsors, including M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store, celebrating its 60th anniversary in June. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the county and offers top-notch customer service, free delivery within 40 miles, and the best in-home appliance repair in the area. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop and see them at 41 West Main Street, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or the web at www.mnbfurniturinc.com. You can also call them at 309-772-2111. Also joining us for the broadcast tonight, folks like Farmers and Merchants State Bank of Bushnell, as we want to thank Country Insurance as well. Glad you're all alongside here for the broadcast. 25-13, 25-8, the Cyclones take home the victory over the Bushnell Prairie City Spartans. That will mean a date with Stronghurst West Central coming up on Thursday night in the regional championship. And, of course, that comes up on Thursday. On from there, they will head into the sectionals. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for turning us on. You're, of course, listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.